The second flavor booster I'm presenting is froth. Frothy operatic masterpieces are light, but their froth isn't the fluff that goes poof after a short while. It's the froth bubbling from champagne or the creamy foam welling from a melting pastry. The masterpieces are like champagne and or pastries. For a masterpiece like champagne, the best example of its music is the can-can. Isn't the can-can as light and sparkling as champagne? The can-can many of us might have heard before is actually the music for an ensemble from a French operetta by Offenbach, Orphée aux Enfers. If you had enjoyed the can-can, there's plenty more of such music in Offenbach's operettas. It's not just the light and sparkling music which renders them comparable to champagne, but also the festive spirit these works contain. You can dance to much of their music. There are numbers with wild energetic music like the can-can and numbers with sweet, graceful, waltz-like music. Besides dancing, you can howl with laughter at the wicked amusements Offenbach lined up in his operettas. His musical jokes, as well as the comic situations he's designed, simply challenge you not to laugh at them. Offenbach isn't the only French operetta composer. There are others like Messager, but their masterpieces don't have Offenbach's outrageous humor, and they have few numbers with wild energetic music. They, and the subgenre of opera, which also has frothy music, early 19th century opera comique, are like melting pastries, just like how Offenbach is like champagne. Their music is as sweet and delicate as these pastries, which calls for graceful and refined singing. The music has rich flavors that send us into ecstasy when they set in. To let you experience a bit of this sensation, I'll give you an excerpt from Boieldieu's La Dame Blanche. This excerpt is from the entrance aria of the hero of this opera. Most of the time, arias or individual showpieces are songs for the characters strategically distributed throughout the opera for them to express their emotions about various events during the opera. An entrance aria is a different type of musical number. It's the operatic version of an icebreaker where the character, usually one of the main ones, will impress his or her personality on us. In the excerpt, the final part of the entrance aria, the hero, whose name is Georgie Brown, sings about the warm welcome he can expect to receive from his village when he returns home after fighting to protect them on the battlefield. This excerpt shows us his cheerfulness and sociability. Georgie Brown is a likable character, but where his appeal really lies is the frothiness of his music. The flavorful background music sends us into such ecstasy, we feel the urge to tap our feet to it. The singing of the tenor playing the role of Georgie Brown here, Michel Sénéchal, is so light that you can feel his voice dancing to the orchestra. The sound he produces is so sweet that hearing it is the equivalent of feeding sugar into our ears. Let's not have a taste of that.
La paix, pris de son courage, le ramène dans les villages. Pour lui, quel spectacle nouveau! C'est un père, un ami, qui le presse et l'embrasse. Chacun se dit, c'est lui, c'est l'honneur du l'amour. On l'entoure, on l'embrasse, le voilà, c'est l'honneur du l'amour. Le vieillard même quand il passe, porte la main à son chapeau, porte la main à son chapeau. Oh, le bel état, oh, le bel état, oh, le bel état que celui de soldat. Et quand la paix, pris de son courage, le ramène dans le village. Pour lui, quel spectacle nouveau! C'est un père, un ami, qui le presse et l'embrasse. Chacun se dit, c'est lui, c'est l'honneur du l'amour. Et sa mère est heureuse, et sa mère est heureuse. Te voilà, te voilà, te voilà, te voilà, te voilà, te voilà. Oh, c'est bien ça, oui, c'est bien ça.
When you listen to that excerpt, did you hear how Sénéchal's voice was so graceful and refined that he was making his voice dance like a ballerina? This refinement refers to the consistently smooth way the sentences came out of his mouth, even when the orchestra raised its tempo. It goes even further than simplicity where the sentences are broken up during such moments. Today, there are still tenors with light voices producing sweet sounds. However, the tenor who could make his voice dance like a ballerina, the old school French light tenor, is extinct. Sénéchal was the last of them. Even so, it's possible to enjoy the early 19th century opera comiques like La Dame Blanche, which we heard earlier, as well as the French operettas. Today's tenors are still able to bring out their best qualities, though not as effectively as Sénéchal's class of tenors, who are literally perfect for performing them. This is an especially good time when a number of early 19th century opera comiques like La Dame Blanche are occasionally being revived in France nowadays. La Dame Blanche is particularly noteworthy, not just because it hit more than 1,500 performances at the Opéra Comique alone in a century until its final run in 1926, but also because of its story. The opera has a sentimental story about a young girl who poses as a ghost, La Dame Blanche, or the White Lady in English, to safeguard the estate of his long-lost heir, who's none other than our friendly soldier, Georgie Brown. If you had fun watching this video, please help me like it. If you'd like to continue chasing this series, please subscribe to my channel. If you wish to express your views about it or discuss it further, please feel free to leave a comment. Thank you and stay tuned.